Hello everybody and welcome back to more of the Smuggler series where we are trying to save these people in this courtyard. Apparently there's a giant robot here ready to destroy everybody's faces, so we're going to make sure that that doesn't happen. Although I'm apparently having line of sight issues and I wasn't able to target him apparently right here. But right over here he's line of sight, so I don't understand what's happening there. But we don't really know a whole lot about this droid. We did learn a little bit about the isotope in the last episode, which is that it could be used as a fuel for the Ark, which is really nice because then we can fuel it up and get it off the planet. The thing that isn't nice about it is the fact that we need the isotope and we don't have any. So we have to either cut a deal with the Hutts, which, you know, we don't want to do because, I mean, they're Hutts. They're probably going to stab us in the back anyways, or we have to go steal some. So I'm probably going for the latter.
What's the galaxy coming to? Hutts invading, planets cracking in half, and now whatever it was. Somebody tell me what that was.
It appeared to be a droid, Mayor.
Here I was thinking it was a shiny Wookiee on stilts wearing turbo lasers for a hat. A droid indeed. Who the blazes are you?
I'm one of the Republic's top experts on Hutt smashing. Or whatever. My point is, I'm the best.
What a relief. Thanks for gracing us with your presence. This mace is already collapsing. Now, I've got wounded people everywhere, and all the working shuttle pads are outside town.
Shalem can get more shuttles for the evacuation.
What we really need is the one thing those Hutts won't give us. Time.
Mayor, we're getting emergency alerts. The Hutts are landing reinforcements, mercenaries, and more of those droids.
Lovely. I'm the one-legged woman at the droid kicking contest.
They're holding the shuttle pads. We'll never get off the mesa unless someone drives the enemy off.
Leave the Hutt forces to me. I'll open the routes out of here. You be ready to move your people.
Just clearing off the pads isn't enough, though. We need to stop the Hutts from landing more reinforcements until we've all evacuated.
We could erect energy shields, Mayor. Cover the pads so they can only be used for flying out.
Solaire, you're actually useful. If we got you some energy shields, could you set them up at each landing pad?
Can't you just run for it once the shuttle pads are clear?
Our wounded move too slowly. You've got to buy us more time. Gather the wounded, prep for evacuation on the double. We are leaving.
Take these energy shields. Activate them at the landing pads. Good luck.
Okay, so just to catch you up on all this, if you don't remember exactly what's happening, the Hutts and the regulators are attacking this area of Makeb, and we're trying to save it. And they were attacking that courtyard specifically with a robot. That robot is a very powerful robot, but it is also a prototype, and it's powered by the Isotope. So Isotope 5 is what is powering it, which isn't good because that means Isotope could also be used in a weaponized form of some sort. So maybe like a power generator, maybe like Iron Man's like thing that he has in his chest, you know, something like that. But that could also work to our advantage if we can get enough of the Isotope. Then we can make our own droids, right? Like that's the way to think about it. And it's one of those situations that is detailed in a Dr. Seuss book. It's the Butterside Uppers and the Butterside Downers, if you know what I'm talking about. It's basically a story about the Cold War, is what it was. And it's one side always trying to outdo the other side, but the other side's doing the same thing. So in this situation, you have the Republic and the Empire, right, they're at war. It's pretty obvious they're at war. They've been at war for a while. The Emperor is possibly dead, if not hidden, so the Empire is a little lost in what they should be doing, although they have some very good commanders that are leading the charge, though that is not necessarily public knowledge, the whole thing with the Emperor. But we saw that all in the Jedi-knight story, so go watch that if you haven't, because it's really good. And then you have the Republic that's doing fairly well, but they're not necessarily winning a war here. They're still at almost a standstill, because it's one of those situations where the Empire is behind, right? The Empire has been behind since the end of, or the beginning of the expansion, and that's why the Empire's getting a little desperate, and here on Makeb trying to keep the Republic from getting their hands on the Isotope, because the Empire knows what the Isotope is, and they're trying to get their hands on it in order to make a weapon out of it. So, the Empire is trying to get a leg up in the war, and they might possibly do it on Makeb, but they are at a bit of a standstill, though. The Republic isn't necessarily able to push the Empire out of the universe yet, but they're still getting, I guess, getting victories here and there. So what's going on with this whole thing, and what I was saying with the Butterside Uppers and the Butterside Downers, is in that book you have the one side always getting better technology. So they're getting better weapons and whatnot, and then the other side retaliates and gets a better weapon, and then it goes back to the other side and they get better weapons, and then back and forth until they just have absurd weapons that they're fighting with. And that's the situation that's going to be happening here. It is a Cold War standoff is what it is, where you have the Empire trying to get the Isotope and the Republic trying to get the Isotope, but the Empire's probably going to get it first and get that awesome technology, and then the Republic's going to have to respond by getting a different thing.
That's far enough, thank you. I recommend you tread carefully, Captain. I'm not the Void Wolf, and this isn't some outlaw showdown.
Please, the next groundquake could destroy this mesa. Kill us all.
Then let's keep the negotiations brief, hmm? We've done no harm to these people. All we seek is the droid's Isotope 5 power supply.
Mayor, is this Imperial telling the truth? None of your people were injured in the attack?
Just a few bumps and bruises to get our attention. Don't much care for having a blaster stuck at my head, though.
No time for debate. Let us have the Isotope 5, or we'll be forced to execute the prisoners. I'm sure no one wants that.
Can't have you shooting innocent people. That'd be downright inconsiderate.
Indeed. Let us not overstay our welcome. Men?
Thought we were deader than a depleted reactor. Thanks. I'm sure it wasn't easy letting those Imperials go.
Bad enough we're fighting a lunatic Hutt. Now the Empire's here too?
Maybe no one told them the planet's coming apart.
We'd better get moving.
I'll tell Shalem to expect wounded.
Mayor, good to see you alive. I trust everything is under control?
Listen, Shalem, an Imperial strike team was just here. They stole a sample of Isotope 5.
How do they even know it exists? One more thing to worry about.
We're evacuating Tarlam and bringing the wounded with us.
We'll have medics standing by at the refugee center, Mayor. Take your people there. I've set up a new camp near the Ark construction site. You have the coordinates. Meet me to plot our next move.
Have you received any reports of other places under attack by Taboro?
No. I think you embarrassed him. The Republic sent down a top engineer to review the Ark's schematics. He's made some interesting discoveries. Hurry.
Well, we now know that the Empire's on the planet. I mean, obviously, you and I, we knew that before, because we're smart like that, but the Republic has not known that, so now the Republic's a little scared, like, what is the Empire doing here? What do they want?
Ah, you're here. Good news. Tarlem's refugees evacuated safely, and no fresh reports of Taboro's droids. You bought us time, and we'll need it. This is Gazadar, one of the Republic's top engineers, and a brave man for coming down here.
Captain, I was working at the Republic shipyards you saved from the Void Wolf. Any chance I could get your autograph or a few hours to explore your ship?
I don't like people poking around my ship. Autographs are no problem.
Fantastic. Here, you can scratch the screen on this datapad.
Gaz just made it through the analysis of the Ark schematics. I'm sad to report that Taboro wasn't lying.
The Ark was specifically built to run on Isotope 5. It's the only energy source capable of pushing that massive vessel through Makeb's atmosphere.
I still haven't heard a decent explanation for what that substance is. What makes Isotope 5 so special?
It appears to be a radioactive variant of Illyrium, unique to Makeb's planetary core. From what little I've examined, it's nearly a template element. Isotope 5 can be modified into all manner of useful configurations, including a potent fuel source. But I'm no expert.
Then we need the real brains behind the Hutt Cartel's operations here. Dr. Juvard Ilip Ogorab. And we know where he is.
Whoa. The only 5-time winner of the Baodur Science Prize is on Makeb? Are you saying he designed the Ark?
Probably those droids, too. Dr. Ogorab has been holed up at the Sanctuary Research Complex since before his people invaded. If anyone knows about Isotope 5, it's him.
Why would a Hutt scientist help us at all? Isn't he with the cartel?
Dr. Ogorab is well respected across the galaxy. For a Hutt, he's pretty reasonable. The Sanctuary Research Complex is one of the most advanced experimental laboratories in the galaxy. It's on an isolated mesa completely under Hutt control.
There's no telling what sort of defenses a genius like Dr. Ogorov has there. And you'll be going in blind.
There are data access terminals on Sanctuary's testing grounds. Try accessing one. It might let you disable any unwelcome surprises. Otherwise, good luck.
I promise to stay alive. You'll be worried sick the whole time I'm gone, won't you?
I've been worried sick since before you landed on Makeb.
We're only getting one chance at this. We can't afford to be wrong about anything. Dr. Ogorov has the knowledge we need.
And please, for the love of science, don't hurt Dr. Ogorov. I didn't bring a way to preserve his brain.
Wow, so we learned a little bit about Isotope 5, and we'll talk a little bit about that in the next episode. However, we have to go save this doctor, and that's the next thing, because he's the one who's going to help us, get the fuel source that we need in order to get the heck off this dang planet.
It's high time you Republic agitators showed up. Tomorrow and his brutes have this entire facility captive. I was wondering if you'd ever bother liberating it.
We're not getting a stable image on this end. Who are you, and how do you know us?
Please, call me Lippy. After all you've done to the cartel, everyone on Makeb knows you. There are many on this mesa being forced to work as slaves. We would be honored to aid your attack. We possess detailed data on the lethal security grid Tabaro installed across the mesa. We'll help you destroy it so you can enter the main complex, and we can escape.
If you know how everything works and you're on the inside, can't you deactivate the grid from there?
Like my peers, I am confined to my laboratory. It required considerable ingenuity just slicing this comm channel. I am transmitting data on several key objectives. Each will provide you ample opportunity to convey your displeasure with Tabaro. Stand by. Follow those instructions precisely. You'll not only gain access to the main complex, you'll destroy Tabaro's security grid. We'll speak again when you breach the main complex entrance.
Nice. We have a man on the inside willing to help us.